Welcome to Karaoke Live. Come in and say hi. You know we're gonna have a good time every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to Karaoke Live. Gather your family around. You know we're gonna have a good time every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to Karaoke Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Karaoke Live. Tonight's theme is going to be Thanksgiving and Indigenous Peoples Natch, or Indigenous Peoples Remembrance Day. I read an Instagram post that said that the best way to celebrate Thanksgiving is to educate yourself on Indigenous peoples. And that's kind of what we're going to do tonight. But it's also going to be a family show, so you can gather your family around and have everyone sit down, and we're going to be ending on a great song that, hopefully lift everybody's spirits after hearing everything that we're going to be talking about tonight. So we're going to start it off with some songs that I wrote in the spirit of, just kind of unity. And so these songs are connected, they go together. I posted them earlier on my YouTube channel for my double feature. So if you want to listen to the individual songs, you can go check that out. And yeah, here we go. But first I'm going to drink some water. As you guys know, I've been traveling, all day yesterday from 11 a.m. till 5 a.m. this morning. Alright. It's not worth the pain, it's not worth the fighting. I won't play your game, I won't let you ignite me. It's not worth the pain, it's not worth the fighting. I won't play your game, I won't let you ignite me. Yeah. Oh. I know I am not perfect. I still got a lot to fix, I'm working on it. And I know I can be a mess, a downright disaster, but I'm working on it. Can you say the same about you? Out here with your head and anger consuming you. Yeah, can you say the same about you? Out here blaming me for all the wrong and your entire existence. Can you see past your hate? I know you say you're a Christian, but I don't see you praying, working on it. Try to hide your flaws behind my imperfections. Grandpa masquerading, got a lot of hell in you, and you ain't working on it. I own up when I make a mistake, and I try to do my best every day. Ain't 100%, but I like to think I'm 75. If I think I'm 99, but I humble myself down to size, 'cause I'm working on it. I can see past my head, and it's not easy. It takes time, but it gets easier with time. You won't know until you try and start working on it. 'Cause it's not worth the pain, it's not worth the fighting. Don't play that game, don't let them ignite you, because then nobody wins. That was a little remix there at the end. That song was called Working on It. And I don't think I said it the first time, but I can read your comments right here. So if you're watching, make sure you say hi and let me know, and I can see your comments. The next song is called Good People. I'm gonna drink some more water. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. A candle can't out of the darkness. A smile can set a heart aglow. Caring words can carry someone through the darkest place that you've ever known. We can all make a difference. Small random acts of kindness. Be a flame that'll ignite change and surpass the dark. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. A jaded heart, a tired soul, a fading star, lost and alone. Cold dark world makes for a heart of stone, looking for the light to lend some hope. It could be the one that finally shows we're not so different, we're not so alone. So good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world doing kind things. Good people in the world, they remind me that there's good people in the world. And those are the shortened versions of those songs. If you guys want the originals, look at my YouTube channel. I have them there. So I thought, that was a nice, good way to start it off. Reminding people that, it's not worth the fighting and it's not worth the pain, with your relatives and stuff. Try to find common ground, and if all else fails, just remember that there's still good people in the world. People who will treat you right, who will do nice things just to be nice without expecting anything in return. That's a legit thing. So, that was just a reminder of that. Now I would like to actually read some facts about Native American Heritage Day, which is actually today. And I have some facts pulled up here. I'm just going to get them. So this is from Wikipedia. I know, not the best source, but Native American Heritage Day is a civil holiday observed on the day after Thanksgiving in the United States. Now this is President George W. Bush signed it into law, but I also saw somewhere that said President Obama was the one who signed it into law. So I just wanted to point out that discrepancy. Maybe it explains it later in this. President George W. Bush signed into law legislation introduced by Congressman Joe Baca, a Democrat from California, to designate the Friday after Thanksgiving as Native American Heritage Day. The Native American Heritage Bill was supported by the National Indian Game Association and 184 federally recognized tribes and designates Friday, November 28, 2008, as a day to pay tribute to Native Americans for their many contributions to the United States. The Native American Heritage Day Bill encourages Americans of all backgrounds to observe Friday, November 28, 2008, and every Friday thereafter following Thanksgiving as Native American Heritage Day through appropriate ceremonies and activities. It also encourages public, elementary, and secondary schools to enhance student understanding of Native Americans by providing classroom instructions focusing on their history, achievements, and contributions. The United States House of Representatives originally passed H.J. Resolution 62 on November 13, 2007. The bill was passed with technical adjustments by unanimous consent in the United States Senate on September 22, 2008. Then, on September 26, 2008, the House of Representatives unanimously voted to pass the legislation again, this time including the adjustments from the Senate. The legislation was signed into public law by the President on October 8, 2008. Some individual states have also taken legislative action to recognize this day. For example, Maryland, my home state, established the day in 2008 under the name American Indian Heritage Day. In addition to calling Thanksgiving the National Day of Mourning, some Native Americans believe it is poor taste for Native American Heritage Day to be on Black Friday, a day of excess and gluttony and greed and aggressive capitalism, which itself falls after a holiday that omits the murder and mutilation of natives, in which they mourn the millions of indigenous people who died as a result of aggressive settler colonialism. So that's a little bit about it. And on the other side of the coin, when I just read there talking about Native Americans find it's in poor taste to have Native American Heritage Day on Black Friday. So I'm going to read this article here, or at least the interview highlights, just to educate you guys more on what's going on there. The day after Thanksgiving is Native American Heritage Day. Some Native Americans say the federal holiday should be moved so it doesn't coincide with Black Friday shopping holiday. Simon Moya Smith, a journalist and activist from the Oglala Lakota Nation, joins Here and Now's Robin Young to make his case for moving Native American Heritage Day. And these are the interview highlights. On why Black Friday is the wrong day to honor Indigenous people. Native American Heritage Day should be a day when the nation takes time to recognize our contributions, our sacrifices, what happened to Indigenous people, what's still happening to Indigenous people. Instead, Native American Heritage Day falls on Black Friday, a day of excess and gluttony and greed and aggressive capitalism. And that's extremely in poor taste. When you look at our values as Indigenous people, it's not materialistic. As Indigenous people, especially if you look at what happened at Standing Rock, we say honor the water, honor the earth, honor the people. And on this specific day, it's the complete opposite of what we teach our youth and what's taught to us and what we value. Native American Heritage Day falls after a holiday that omits the murder and mutilation of natives. And that's even more difficult to stomach for me. For Indigenous people, that day is known as Unthanksgiving, or the National Day of Mourning, because we mourn the millions of Indigenous people who died as a result of aggressive settler colonialism. On the Thanksgiving narrative, these invaders who encroached on our territory were so focused on finding gold that they didn't spend the time to dig crops. So when they got here, what they did was they didn't just steal things from the grave. They weren't just grave robbers. What they were cannibals. They ate the flesh because they needed to eat something. So this is part of the narrative that's excluded, and this narrative is just way too myth-made, way too whitewashed. And then again, after the holiday, Native American Heritage Day is Black Friday. And I don't imagine people are turning around and saying, hey, I'm going to get this big screen TV, this flat screen TV, and by the way, happy Native American Heritage Day. On this specific day, it's the opposite. It's complete opposite of what we teach our youth and what's taught to us and what we value. On how non-natives should observe Native American Heritage Day. You basically missed a lot, because November is Native American Heritage Month. So we have missed a lot. In most cities, you can find an American Indian community house. That's here in New York. There's the Denver Indian Center. The universities, Yale, Columbia, all the way in Los Angeles, you have university student groups that have lessons. I want people to recognize the Indigenous people of today, who are doctors, lawyers, professors. We're not this stereotypical image that's perpetrated by the media. But by the time Native American Heritage Day comes around, you've missed a whole month of lessons and opportunities to introduce yourself to the Indigenous peoples of the 21st century, who live on a reservation or doesn't live on a res, has short or has long hair, is traditional, is Christian. So on that day, you're just kind of hoping that they follow us on social media, because on that day as well, we're trying to dispel all false stereotypes of who we are and what had happened. On how we'll be spending the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to be outside the FedEx Field in Maryland when the Washington football team plays on the holiday known as Thanksgiving. The reason we're doing that is because the CDC just came out and said that Native Americans are more likely to die at the hands of police than any other demographic. This article was written a couple years ago, but I don't know. It's probably still around the same. The holiday Thanksgiving omits the murder and mutilation of natives. Football players are taking a knee against systematic oppression and police brutality. A 14-year-old Native American boy was just shot and killed by a deputy sheriff in Wisconsin. This was actually written last year, 2017. Was shot and killed by a deputy sheriff in Wisconsin. So it's a confluence that brings us back to the issue of murdered and mutilated Indians. And the fact that we're not recognizing that is egregious. So that's this article, and I will link all of these articles down that I'm reading. So the other article, which is actually on a government website, it's called Native Voices. Let's see. Okay, this article is about 2009. It says, Day after Thanksgiving named Native American Heritage Day. Barack Obama signs the Native American Heritage Day Resolution 2009. So that's the discrepancy. One was 2008, this one's 2009. designating the Friday after Thanksgiving as Native American Heritage Day. The resolution had unanimous support in the U.S. House of Representatives and Senate. So once again, all 3 times that this was passed, it's had unanimous support. In signing HJ Resolution 40 into law, President Obama stated, "I encourage every American to join me in observing Native American Heritage Day. It is also important for all of us to understand the rich culture, tradition, and history of Native Americans and their status today, and to appreciate the contributions that first Americans have made and will continue to make to our nation." So there's some more information about things that are going on, but I also want to hear what the people have to say. And before we do that, we are going to get to some more singing, and I'm going to sing my song Umoja, which means unity, and it is the first day of the African holiday Kwanzaa, and it's really just about unity of everybody, and so I think that is a good song to do right now. Well, I'm just going to do the chorus. Make you realize I don't have bad intentions, my malice on my word. You can trust me, it'll be worth it. I won't break your heart. Just grab my hand and together we'll fly away. The world is ours, but tomorrow and today. And I won't always be perfect, but I'll catch you before you fall. 'Cause I'm on your side, together we can take it all. Together we can take it all. Make you realize I don't have bad intentions, no malice on my part. You can trust me, it'll be worth it. I won't break your heart. Just grab my hand and together we'll fly away. The world is ours, but tomorrow and today. And I won't always be perfect, but I'll catch you before you fall. 'Cause I'm on your side, together we can take it all. Together we can take it all. And before I go further, I actually did reach out to somebody to be interviewed for tonight. She is currently protesting, joining the resistance for hashtag no thanks, no giving. And so in her absence, her name is Hope Alvarado. She's one of the Transformative Justice Coalition's Millennial Votes Matter Millennial Votes Matter advocates. She's a voting rights ambassador. But she's also a Native American. And so I asked her, some things that I could talk about on the show that I could research. Unfortunately, I did think of this way too late, once again, which is why we need Native American Heritage Month and Native American Heritage Day, so that we think about these things sooner, and it's not an hour and a half before somebody's show, before they're trying to hit somebody up for a good interview. But she did send me a lot of good information, so I'd like to read what she sent me now. And so what you hear downstairs is people preparing for my show every day. That's why I said you can gather your family around not every day, every Friday after the show. The whole Arnold Forward family gathers around and they watch it. And Justin Arnold, my boyfriend, he watches the show live every single week. And also, I see we do have a comment here. Raxian is watching. He's a Pokemon Go YouTuber. He said, "Hey, what's up? Shout out, LOL." So, hey to you, Raxian. There's your shout out. He's local here in Maryland. And, yeah, so this is, so I'm really encouraging you to gather your families around. And all learn together. Oh my gosh. And if you have any facts or anything that I missed or anything that I misquoted, make sure you comment them down below. Or comment them here so that I can see it. So, okay, I'm going to read Hope Alvarado's message that she sent me. She said, "Some important and needed discussions we've been having would be highlighting our relatives on the streets. There are many Native folks living on the streets and existing who need relatives. Also, talking about undocumented communities, how undocumented communities are impacted. But also, many of the grassroots community organizers who are struggling to make ends meet as our waters are contaminated. Hydraulic fracturing, aka fracking, devastates the land, and genocidal holidays like hashtag no thanks, no giving, is also known as a national holiday for mourning for all Indigenous communities and people who have struggled against capitalism, settler colonialism, racism, anti-Indianism, and outright genocide. Thank you so much. And she also said, thanks for my solidarity. I was just in the reading mode. But, so those are some issues that I'm going to have to explore further because I don't really know a lot about things that she was saying. And I want to learn more. You know, I really want to, and I want everyone else to learn more. And hopefully this week, Barbara Arnold will actually have her on the radio show, Igniting Change. And we can hear more. We can hear all about what she's been doing and what the Native American community feels about hashtag no thanks, no giving. And the more that I read about hashtag no thanks, no giving and about the day of mourning and national, you know, and all of these different things surrounding Native people and Indigenous people, I'm realizing, one, just how little I knew, but also, and how much I need to know, but also just that, like, it makes me not even want to put Thanksgiving in the title, or, like, I'm understanding how saying Happy Thanksgiving can really hurt somebody when you're really saying, hey, happy the day that, happy Genocide Day. You know, it'd kind of be like if there was a holiday that celebrated slavery, but it was covered up and you bought chickens and, you know, it was covered up as like a festive holiday. And whenever somebody said it to you, Happy Slaveria Day, like what it was really saying is, hey, Happy Slavery Day. And so it's really, it really makes you kind of feel sick thinking about all of it. And also yesterday, I was posting a lot about Thanksgiving because I was on a bus all day. So I was sharing a lot of things on Facebook. And for some reason, I had racists come out of nowhere. And the one day that you really don't want to talk about immigration is on Thanksgiving. Like the nerve of some people to, on Thanksgiving, the day that literally celebrates the genocide of Native Americans by undocumented immigrants coming over and stealing other people's lands, wants to talk about immigration or the people that are coming to legally seek asylum. And I had to block quite a number of people. Some people blocked me, some people just showed their true colors, and it was just really interesting because some people I'd never talked to or I hadn't talked to in years. They hadn't responded to any of my text messages, anything. Some people, they even said they didn't follow me or anything, and just for some reason my Thanksgiving post or my anti-Thanksgiving post or even just reminding people not to be racist on Thanksgiving, like really suddenly broke them out of their shells. So it was quite interesting. But I appreciate people like Hope and Hope Alvarado and others that are out there in the resistance, educating people like me, like you, like everybody on really the history of Thanksgiving. And oh, we got some comments here. So Raxian said, it's Marksepticeye yelling. LOL. I assume I was probably yelling at that moment. Justin Arnold said, this week is no exception. Raxian said, that would be cool. Native American community needs more visibility. So again, if you have a comment or you got something you want to say, make sure you comment it and I'll see it. And also, if your family says anything or has any interesting thoughts during the show, if hopefully you're watching this as a family or you rewatch it as a family, you watch it on demand, and they have any comments or any thoughts or anything, they can also comment, and I'll try my best to answer them, talk to you, that kind of thing. So, especially hit me up on social media. Speaking of social media, we are going to go to social media right here on the laptop, so I'm going to zoom it in, but you're still going to hear my voice as I read some of these posts. So we're going to do it truly YouTuber style. And I see there's 4 people watching today, so thank you. Okay, we're going to zoom that in there. Alright, guys. You can see the beautiful flyer that Keith Mom made for me. And we're going to actually turn off this light so you guys can see it better. Alright. So I have got Instagram pulled up here, and we're going to read some Instagram things. And I hope you guys can see it. I'm not sure if you guys can read it just because of the service, but I hope you can. But I'm going to read it now. So this is from the Food Empowerment Project. I've just looked up the hashtag no thanks, no giving. And let's learn a little bit more about why it's so important that we educate ourselves about Thanksgiving. This plaque right here is called National Day of Mourning. It says, since 1970, Native Americans have gathered at noon on Coles Hill in Plymouth to commemorate a National Day of Mourning on the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday. Many Native Americans do not celebrate the arrival of the Pilgrims and other European settlers. To them, Thanksgiving Day is a reminder of the genocide of millions of their people, the theft of their lands, and the relentless assault on their culture. Participants in the National Day of Mourning honor Native ancestors and the struggles of Native people to survive today. It is a day of remembrance and spiritual connection, as well as a protest of the racism and oppression which Native Americans continue to experience. And this is erected by the town of Plymouth on behalf of the United American Indians of New England. And the Food Empowerment Project said it is important to learn the real history of this country so that we can help fight to make sure that we don't repeat it. And she also gives a link, which we're going to look at later because I have it saved on my Facebook. But let's go do some more posts. So I hope you guys can see this picture. It shows people at the top having a Thanksgiving dinner. But then they're having a Thanksgiving dinner over the bones of people. And this is posted by @OurHomeAbibe. She said, know what you are celebrating. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. It's a story of murder, says Angelina Jolie. And she has a lot of hashtags. This banner says solidarity, not charity. And this user, @CleeBenelli, says, my favorite new banner at hashtag Tallahugan Info Shop. Update from Tallahugan. Ahila, thanks so much everyone who attended last night and all those who volunteered to clean, organize, and cook the wonderful food. We had more than 50 people throughout the evening and raised over $500. We also received a great number of warm clothing donations for unsheltered relatives, which again is a problem that Hope Alvarado also said in her post. She said all the proceeds will go directly towards ensuring our relatives on the streets do not freeze this winter to support ongoing anti-fascist organizing here in Kinlani. You can still donate warm clothing items, backpacks, and sleeping bags here at 1704 North 2nd Street, Occupied Lands, Flagstaff, Arizona. Extra special thanks to everyone who donated online. You can also do so at www.indigenousaction.org, and we're going to look at that website later. I don't know too much actually about the history of Christopher Columbus, so I decided it'd be fitting to look at people's posts and see what they're actually saying. All of these are public posts. And @Alicia Hare Wizard Caroso writes, to express gratitude today is a hard one. It's the anniversary celebration of a mass slaughter of Indigenous people, and I feel it is only appropriate to mourn the atrocities that Indigenous people have had to endure for centuries on a day like today. I see no excuse to pretend that the meaning of the holiday has somehow shifted into something more positive. We should not forget its original meaning. I do not believe that it should be celebrated at all, and if I am going to exercise my privilege today, it's not going to be so I can eat turkey. It will be to use my voice. I want to speak the truth of genocide that this holiday represents. The more I get involved in Indigenous communities and their ongoing struggles, the more I understand how colonialism has tried to wipe them out and erase their culture. Don't be fooled, there are still institutions today that are taking rights and sovereignty away from Indigenous people. I'm currently situated on stolen Kalalam land. Find out whose land you're on at https://nativeland.ca and get involved in your area. So we're actually going to copy this and we'll take a look at the website. You guys see that? So if you want to go to this website and look for yourself The URL is native-land.ca. Let's go back to these posts. @_boogiebones says, do you know what you are celebrating today? I don't post much about me or my family, but these are my children and this is who we are. We were born into Indigenous blood, and I'm one proud Pueblo woman. When you say your prayers before you eat dinner, honor the Indigenous people by giving thanks to our ancestors and thank the earth. My existence and my children are my resistance this Thanksgiving and every day that we live here on this earth. And this has become really a banner for the hashtag No Thanks, No Giving. And she is apparently the woman that made this 14 years ago. On Instagram, @Clee_Benelli. Put this image together at least 14 years ago. Featuring, I want to say that name, but I know I cannot say it. And so out of respect, I will not attempt to. AKA Chief Joseph of the Wallowa Band of Nez Perce Nation. Designed by myself based on a collage originally done by my buddy Eric Shirts. Stickers, pins available at indigenousaction.org. There's that website again. I promise we're going to get there. And there's so many more of these. Just go on to Instagram and search the hashtag No Thanks, No Giving, and you can see all of these posts. Thanksgiving, it's a time, I'm reading the meme. Thanksgiving is a time to remember all that we have and the genocide that it took to get it. And here's a little bit of a story. And I'm going to read this because I think that it's good. Origins of Thanksgiving. This is by @KnowingGrowing. The year was 1637. 700 men, women, and children of the Pacat tribe gathered for the annual green corn dance in the area that is now known as Grown Con. I think that's Connecticut. While they were gathered in this place of meeting, they were surrounded and attacked by mercenaries of the English and Dutch. The Indians were ordered from the building as they came forth. They were shot down. The rest were burned alive in the building. The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving, thanking God that they had eliminated over 700 men, women, and children. For the next 100 years, every Thanksgiving day ordained by a governor or president was to honor that victory, thanking God that the battle had been won. Newell based his research on studies of Holland documents and the 13-volume colonial documentary History, both thick sets of letters and reports from colonial officials to their superiors and the king in England, and the private papers of Sir William Johnson, British Indian agent for the New York colony for 30 years in the mid-1600s. My research is authentic because it is documentary, Newell said. You can't get anything more accurate than that because it is firsthand. It is not hearsay. Newell said the next 100 Thanksgivings commemorated the killing of Indians at what is now Groton, Connecticut, home of a nuclear submarine base, rather than a celebration with them. He said the image of Indians and pilgrims sitting around a large table to celebrate Thanksgiving Day was fictitious, although Indians did share food with the first settlers. And the source is Documents of Holland, 13-volume colonial documentary, history letters and reports from colonial officials to their superiors and the king in England, and the private papers of Sir William Johnson, British Indian agent for the New York colony for 30 years. Research by William B. Newell of the Penobscot tribe, former chairman of the University of Connecticut Anthropology Department. And you can learn more at, here's a new URL, www.aimmovement.org. And here's the full URL. Let's go to the website and show you guys. And once again, I'll link all these down in the description after the show. And right here, if you want to read it for yourself, what I just read. Let's get through a couple more of these. And this is the one that I said in the very beginning, posted by @Profegavats. She said the only ethical way to celebrate Thanksgiving is to spend it educating yourself about Indigenous rights. This is why they say no thanks. Successful genocide celebration, no thanks. These are more posts. And this is a great video, and I want everyone to hear it. So I'm going to zoom in. And I've also commented to this person, hoping that even if this is a repost of the video, that I can get in contact with him and see how we can work together. So this is posted by @chocolade_brew. And the volume's up, and I hope it's not too loud or too quiet. Let me get the remote just in case.
Yeah. Let me tell you about this time. The Spaniards had a ride. Native Indians greeted them, they didn't hide. The Spaniards lied, raped our kids and genocide. But the worst part is it came in the name of God. So why? You celebrate the murder of the Israelites, wearing fringes, keeping the feast. They try to get it right. Think about the murderous legal. They wrong you all the evil. Cutting up the turkey with feathers. That represent your people. Tell me if I killed your brother, could we make it equal? Could I make it a holiday to celebrate with people? Telling lies about the history like I ain't kill them, knowing I was really the savage. Now tell me how you feeling. Yeah. Thanksgiving ain't shit. Yeah. Let me tell you about this time. The Spaniards had a ride. Native Indians greeted them, they didn't hide. The Spaniards lied, raped our kids and genocide. But the worst part is it came in the name of God. So why? You celebrate the murder of the Israelites, wearing fringes, keeping the feast. They try to get it right. Think about the murderous legal. They wrong you all the evil. Cutting up the turkey with feathers. That represent your people. Tell me if I killed your brother, could we make it equal? Could I make it a holiday to celebrate with people? Telling lies about the history like I ain't kill them, knowing I was really the savage. Now tell me how you feeling. Yeah. Thanksgiving ain't shit. Yeah. Let me tell you about this time.
One more time.
The Spaniards had a ride. Native Indians greeted them, they didn't hide. The Spaniards lied, raped our kids and genocide. But the worst part is it came in the name of God. So why? You celebrate the murder of the Israelites, wearing fringes, keeping the feast. They try to get it right. Think about the murderous legal. They wrong you all the evil. Cutting up the turkey with feathers. That represent your people. Tell me if I killed your brother, could we make it equal? Could I make it a holiday to celebrate with people? Telling lies about the history like I ain't kill them, knowing I was really the savage. Now tell me how you feeling. Yeah. Thanksgiving ain't shit.
Okay, now you guys get the point. So I'm gonna see if there's any other things that I should read. I know I did see one very powerful one, but I must have not have saved it. Alright. And for those links that I was talking about, indigenousaction.org. So you can go there and this is the website. Indigenous peoples denied access to sacred. They got a little slider here. It's a really nice website. I would encourage everyone to go. Indigenousaction.org. This is turned into an hour-long show. And this video was shared by Hope Alvarado, the person I mentioned earlier. And I have not watched it yet, but I assume it's going to be good, because she shared it. So let's watch it together now. This is on Facebook.
America is a myth, and the United States is on stolen land. Remember that at this time last year, law enforcement descended upon water protectors gathered at Standing Rock, firing rubber bullets, tear gas, and water cannons as they peacefully prayed for the Minnesota, the Missouri River, against the Dakota Access Pipeline. And just last week, 210,000 gallons of oil were leaked from the Keystone XL pipeline in South Dakota,
This was
near the boundaries
posted last
of the
year.
Lake Traverse Reservation. So while there's nothing wrong with sitting down with loved ones to share a meal and give thanks, here's some advice on how to do that and not erase the native peoples of this land. First, we have to get rid of this ridiculous story about pilgrims and Indians breaking bread together. While pilgrims, really Puritan separatists, did in fact land in Wampanoag territory, and the Wampanoags may have welcomed them, by which I mean didn't let them die even as they faced their own genocide. The barely surviving settlers did not invite the so-called Indians to turkey dinner. There may have been an impromptu shared meal from a first successful harvest after Squanto showed the Puritans how to survive, and there was some goodwill as the meal likely laid the groundwork for a treaty of mutual protection. That didn't last long, however, because in 16...
There's an ad. Facebook has ads now. So we're going to quiet this ad and let it pass. But I don't endorse whatever this ad is showing. One day, hopefully, we'll be able to get our own ads. But I did feel this video was important to show.
37, English settlers massacred over... Because in 1637, English settlers massacred over 700 Pequot Indians. The next day, Massachusetts Bay Governor William Bradford called for a day of Thanksgiving to be acknowledged in all the churches for our victories against the Pequots. It wasn't until 1863 that President Lincoln declared it a national holiday. It was his attempt to unify the nation as it endured the ravages of the Civil War. A year later, he presided over the largest mass execution in United States history, ordering 38 Dakota men to be publicly hanged. Their crime? Defending their peoples, who were being hunted down, killed, and forcibly removed from their land onto reservations. Second, acknowledge that wherever you are, you're on native land, land that belongs to people who are still here. In many countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, it's common practice to acknowledge the indigenous lands upon which events and gatherings happen. If you're unsure about how to perform such acknowledgements, the U.S. Department of Arts and Culture just produced a guidebook called How to Honor Native Land. And this website helps you plug in any city in North America to find the appropriate Native peoples. And understand this isn't just a practice about acknowledging history. This is about acknowledging that Native peoples are still here and that removal and occupation is ongoing. In the United States alone, there are 4.5 million Native Americans and Alaska Natives, and over 500 federally recognized tribes. Native peoples are still under threat of elimination. They're not only fighting against pipelines and big oil at Standing Rock and Lake Traverse, but also in Canada, the Philippines, Peru, Honduras, and in many sites across the globe. Indigenous peoples are putting their bodies on the line, protecting against the violent extraction of oil, gas, timber, and minerals, for which they're being killed at increasing rates. Genocide is still happening. So as you sit down with your family and friends, take some time to consider these points. It's uncomfortable for sure, but nothing's going to change if you don't start by acknowledging what is happening right now to Indigenous peoples. But also be thankful that despite centuries of irregular warfare, we are still here. We are professors, doctors, lawyers, musicians, artists, poets, chiefs, mothers, and protectors. Teach yourself and help others to learn that Native peoples persist, fighting each and every day for this nation to honor its treaties, and in so doing, to live up to its promise.
And then, let me think, see. There might be a couple more things that we should look at, but it's not going back. So we're going to go, okay, here's why it's not going back. And I did realize that I did miss one thing on Instagram. Did I close that page? I might have closed the page. I did close the page because I didn't want it to seem like a promo. So I'm not trying to promote my Instagram. This is just where they are saved. Okay. I do want to read, let's see. There was a post I saw that went into some numbers. And I might not have saved it. But again, it'll be on the hashtag no thanks, no giving on Instagram. So that's why I found all of these. Alright, now let's end the song off with a more, let's end the show off with a more uplifting message now. Let me zoom this out. And thank you to everyone who's watching. And if you think someone could benefit from this video, make sure you share it with them. And comment down below your thoughts on this subject. Actually, we have two more songs left. I almost forgot. I must sing my song "Homeless on Christmas." And I think it pairs well with not only just Thanksgiving, but also um, with Native American Heritage Day, with remembering that Indigenous people and natives are out there homeless, and that grassroots activists are out there struggling, and that a lot of people are just one paycheck away. So when you think it's far from you, I mean, try to reach out, maybe not just to the homeless person that you see on the street, but you might be working with someone who's homeless or going to school with someone who's homeless. I was in school, I was working 3 jobs while I was homeless. I was in college, sitting in college classes, and a lot of times when I told my professors, because most of the time I would wait till the end of the semester, um, so like hopefully I guess not get any special treatment, even though in the end it might have had the opposite effect sometimes, because they're putting in the final grades. But that's what I told myself I did it for anyways. But I'll wait till the end of the semester, not during the semester. Also, I guess to protect myself from thinking that someone was going to look at me and have pity. The school was really good, though, the ones that did know. And but yeah, and I was surprised to learn that some of my classmates would come to me and said yeah, I used to be homeless. And when I spoke at the African American Women Law Conference in 2016, someone came up to me and said that she was sleeping in her car, a young woman. And I think it's really, really important to always remember there are still homeless people every single day of the year. I was really happy to see people hashtag homeless not invisible in Baltimore just launched. They just had their press conference. I couldn't attend because, well, I was in New York. And but shout out to them. Go check them out. Just look up on Facebook hashtag homeless not invisible. Also, other Baltimore activists that are really active in the hashtag no shoot zones that Keith Montgomery knows. They were out last night giving blankets to homeless people to make sure that they were warm. And also I saw even Kavanaugh, who just became Supreme Court Justice, he was even in D.C. on Thanksgiving giving meals to people. And Jesse Jackson, he was out in Chicago giving meals to homeless people. So there's really things that you can do, every day, even if it's not giving a blanket, even if it's not getting meals. It's just checking up on someone, seeing how someone's doing. Trying to look for signs, and also just not passing by the homeless person on the street. From the homeless person you see and the homeless person you don't see. So, actually, I'm going to pair these two songs together. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work yet, but I'm going to pair my Homeless on Christmas song with my Do You See Me as Human song, and let's go. And make sure I can stand up here and not be cut off the frame. I think it's far enough back. Okay, it is. All right. And unfortunately, I did not have, it was too cold to actually film any music video for this while I was in New York because my phones kept dying. And so I'm still going to try to film a music video for Homeless on Christmas. But right now, just enjoy this. Little girl is looking inside your window. She's another year older and she's barefoot in the snow, looking in on your Christmas dinner and the presents around the tree. Little girl wondering, why can't that be me? Poor little girl, I know you just want a home. Scout shoes on, a jacket under the Christmas tree and a place to call your own. And all around you the people walking by to everywhere. And you sit all alone and cry during the best time of the year. They're still homeless on Christmas, year after year, in the spirit of giving, spirit of Christmas cheer. They're still homeless on Christmas, people with no place to go, people with no families and no love to show. There's an old war veteran on the side of the road. He's begging for your spare change, 'cause the government just foreclosed his home. In the country he worked so hard to defend now passes him by without a second glance. Poor war veteran, I know you just want a home. Scarf shoes or a jacket under the Christmas tree and a place you call your own. And all around you the people walking by to everywhere. And you sit all alone and cry during the best time of the year. They're still homeless on Christmas, year after year. In the spirit of giving, spirit of Christmas cheer, they're still homeless on Christmas. People with no place to go. People with no family and no love to show. I couldn't make the transition in my mind, but I'm going to work on combining these two songs. But next song, do you see me as human or do you know I'm human? And in the interest of time, I'm just going to sing the first verse and the chorus and the bridge. I'm all alone sitting here, waiting for you to come back to me. I'm all alone sitting here, watching you just pass me. I have so much potential if I just had the chance. Need the opportunity to show who I am. I could be someone special, leave a legacy. But instead I'm sitting here, another homeless person on these streets. Do you see me when you pass by? Do you know I'm human? Do you see all the tears I cry? Lonely cold night on these streets again. Another night ahead of wondering if anyone will see me for who I am. That I'm intelligent, full of potential, just in a bad circumstance all alone in this world. I've been trying to free myself, but I can't do it alone. I need your help. Billy just needs the opportunity. Wanna be Napoleon and write my own legacy, but the circumstances decide my fate for me. Just need society to give me a chance. See who I could be, see who I am, and see me as human. Do you see me as human? And also, by the way, next week, December 7th, I do believe, is going to be, or is it the week after next? But December 7th, the first week in December, the first show of December, is going to be my Homeless on Christmas night, where I'm going to be featuring some homeless activists, and we're going to be talking more about this issue of homelessness. So I'll go more into how I wrote the song, when I wrote the song, and the first times that I ever actually performed the song Homeless on Christmas, and then a bunch of other stuff to raise awareness and get people really thinking about how to help and how to be active. And so I'm hoping I've given you some resources tonight as well. I also think about, homeless Indigenous and Native American people. And yeah, so now it is the last song. It's going to be India Ari's There's Hope. Also, special shout out to Raxian. It was his birthday. It was his birthday earlier this week, and I saw it in the Discord chat. I never got to say happy birthday to him, but I want to say it now. Happy birthday, Raxian. And you can go check out his channel. Also, Raxian commented, maybe you could do a PewDiePie cover of his latest T-Series rap. It's so funny that you should mention that, because I was thinking of actually doing a cover of YouTuber songs, like Danny Gonzalez's Johnny Johnny, or PewDiePie's diss track on T-Series, which I can't say the name of, even though there's already been one cuss word in this show. But, so that's funny, because I was thinking of doing that. I thought that would be a fun little creative idea. Don't forget to check out indigenousaction.org and the origins of Thanksgiving by going to aimovement.org. And also, remember, you're on Native American land, and we need to pay homage to their ancestors. And so this last song is meant to lift everybody up. It's called There's Hope. I cannot sing it in the soulful style of India Ari yet. Gotta practice on that. I just learned about the song a couple days ago. When my friend posted the lyrics on Facebook, I asked her what song it was. I listened to it, and lo and behold, I liked it. It's not a new song, it's an older song, but this is a good song to end it on. And thank you guys for joining me. Make sure, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you're not. There's Hope by India Ari. Oh no. drink some water. And also pull up the lyrics, because I remembered I don't know all the lyrics by heart. So I will be looking at my phone. Because I put all the lyrics in here. Aha, there we go. Alright. Sorry about that. Realized I needed some water. Back when I had a little, I thought that I needed a lot. A little was overrated, but a lot was a little too complicated. You see, zero didn't satisfy me, and a little didn't make me happy. It's when I learned a lesson that it's all about your perceptions. How you a pop or a superstar, so you act, so you feel, so you are. It ain't about the size of your car, it's about the size of the faith in your heart. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. I met a young brother that made me feel that I could accomplish anything. You see, just like me, he wanted to sing. He lived indoors and outdoors. He lived a simple life and was extremely poor. On top of all of that, he had no eyesight. That didn't keep him from seeing the light. He said, what's it like in the USA? And all I did was complain. He said, living here is paradise. He taught me paradise is in your mind. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. Every time I turn on the TV, somebody's acting crazy. If you let it, it will drive you crazy. But I'm taking back my power today. Gas prices, they just keep on rising. Government, they keep on lying. But we gotta keep on surviving, living our truth and do the best we can do. Cause there's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. There's hope, stand up for your right. Keep shining your light and show the world your smile. Stand up for your rights, keep shining your light and show the world your smile. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. There's hope, it doesn't cost a thing to smile. You don't have to pay to laugh, you better thank God for that. There's hope. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's show. I hope the music wasn't too loud or the videos weren't too loud. And Roxy comes and he said, "Aw, thanks for the happy birthday wish. You're welcome. Thanks for watching." To my knowledge, this is the first time you watched the show live, so thanks. And yeah. Let's see, we're not promoting anything here. And make sure you also go check out India Ari's original version, because it's just an amazing song. So if you're feeling down, especially around this time of year, make sure you take care of yourself, and also listen to India Ari's There's Hope, because it's such a good song, and she sings it in an amazing style that I've got to learn. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. And also, comment down below, what did you learn tonight? Did you learn something new? Did I get anything wrong? Is there something I should have covered that I didn't? Also, name any Native American ancestors that you know, any Indigenous people. Um, yeah, just let's make it a nice learning community in the comments, as it's already been this whole show. And I hope this also broadens discussions and that you did gather your family around, um, and that that everyone learned something. So let's see if we can get a handle on this. So I gotta turn the camera around, so I'll let you guys look at the beautiful flyer that Keith Mon made. That's designs by Keith. Go check him out. And okay, I gotta remember. It always says that twice. All right, here we go. So thank you guys for joining. Let's see if I can get myself in the center here. All right, and thanks for all the views, thanks for all the love, thanks for all the commenting that you've done. It's Karaoke Live, I hope you had a good time. Next week is another one. So thanks for all the views, thanks for all the love, thanks for all the commenting that you've done. It's Karaoke Live, I hope you learned something new. Next week is another one. Alright. Peace out, y'all. Let me turn this off. Sorry I wasn't looking at I was trying to look in the camera, but okay. Oh, wait. Deuces.